Hey, what it do, y'all? It's your boy E2 Blue coming back at you again, man. Hey, crazy New Year's Eve. I guess you could say for us it's Victory Sunday because we played on a Saturday night. Those of you that were in my live stream last night during the game, appreciate you being there. Shout out to all my moderators and stuff that getting these little hecklers up out of here because we don't do the negativity over here. We don't play that. We don't. Just real quick about the game last night before I talk about going forward, because Cowboys do get some good news today, but we'll get into that for a second. Um, um, that win last night, a lot of Lion fans were upset. I got a lot of text messages from a lot of my friends that were probably Commanders fans that had nothing to do with that. So a lot of people were confused about why the Lions got called that penalty, which ultimately gave the Cowboys the win. Now, as you know, if you watch the game, you know that the Lions went down um, at the end of that, marched down the field on the Cowboys because we were playing prevent defense. That part I don't understand why. Um, and they went ahead and got the touchdown, and we were nervous because it's okay. All right, they get the touchdown, and you know that Dan Campbell is a very aggressive coach. Um, he used to play for the Cowboys under Jimmy Johnson, so I mean, this guy is, he's a spicy one. So he aggressively goes for the 2 point conversion, but what happens is on that play they were called for illegal touching and illegal formation. So I'm gonna explain what happened for those of you that don't understand. People are just all over the place with this. So real quick, so from my understanding, what happened on that play was number 70, their offensive lineman, number 70, did say that he was eligible. That's why Dan Campbell said, "Oh, the offensive lineman was eligible." Yes, he was. He came in there, but what he messed up was where he lined up at. He was covered in the line of scrimmage. So when you're covered, that's where the illegal formation penalty call was. But number 68 was the one that caught the pass in the end zone for what would have been the 2 point conversion to win the game. But the problem is he didn't register as an eligible receiver. He was just a regular offensive lineman. You can't just throw the ball to an offensive lineman without him registering as a receiver, which technically I guess would make him a tight end in that category. So yeah, so you can't do that. So those two, basically illegal touching. You can't touch the ball for a forward pass to an offensive lineman that's not registered. So all of you that was texting me about that, understand that was the reason why it was called. It was the right call to make. The refs do not do anything special for the Dallas Cowboys. That when I heard that was absurd to me because first of all, the refs hate the Dallas Cowboys. Do y'all not see these games where Micah Parsons gets held every play? And you think the refs do a favor for the Dallas Cowboys? Hell no. They don't like us. They don't like Micah because Micah openly spoke about them. So they don't call nothing on Micah Parsons. They'll call it against him, but they won't call it for him. So let's get that straight. That's one. So you guys could get off my back about that, or just stop saying it in general, or just learn the game of football. How about that? Instead of going out here and spewing stuff that you don't know about. And, I talk about our own fans and how much they talk about Dak and say that Dak is not this and Dak is that. Man, if you watch the game, you know that drive, that one drive to CeeDee Lamb for that 92-yard touchdown, that was just fantastic by Dak Prescott. To be able to be backed up in your own end zone when your offensive line is not blocking, you got a guy coming free onto Dak Prescott. He spins off of this guy. Reroute. I don't even know how he even got out of that kerfunkel mess that he was in. He steps out into the flat and throws the ball deep to CeeDee Lamb. The wide receiver falls down and he is wide open to skip and how should I say gallop into the end zone. But anyway, Teach his own. The Cowboys are now 11-5, so none of that other stuff even matters. Like I said, even with that call that the Lions got called on for that illegal offensive lineman thing, we got called for that same thing I think 3 games ago for one of our offensive linemen. We didn't trip about it. We just, hey, he didn't register in as a receiver. It is what it is. You keep it moving. You know what I'm saying? Those are the rules. That's it. Just like in the game where CeeDee Lamb dropped the ball, well, because the defender knocked it out of his hand before he crossed the plane, which would have been a touchdown, which ended up being a touchback, which gave the Lions the ball back. We didn't trip nothing too much about that call because that's the rule. So for them to trip about that at the end of the game, I mean, it is what it is. The Lions really didn't need this game. The Cowboys needed it. The Lions already clinched the North Division the first time in 30 years, so give them that. It is what it is. But going forward, now Dallas Cowboys, things are getting real interesting because the Dallas Cowboys yesterday was the 5th seed. But today, now all of a sudden, miraculously, they're the 2nd seed. I tell you guys all the time, don't worry about other teams. Take care of your business, win games, and things can happen for you. You don't go into games wishing and hoping that things are gonna happen for you. You just gotta go do it, and then hopefully those things will happen. You just gotta play your game, and you gotta win your games. And the Cowboys did that. They won the game yesterday. The Eagles wet the bed today and lost to the Cardinals, which are 4-12, which I think they're much better than that 4-12 record, obviously. But they lose 31-35 to the Cardinals, which knocks them back to the 5th seed. The Cowboys now, as of today, are the 2nd seed. And the 49ers are the 1st seed. They get a bye week and they get home field advantage during the playoffs. So, as you know, no matter what happens now, the 49ers don't have to play anymore. They can sit everybody. They can have 2 bye weeks if they want to. They can sit most of their starters next week because if they lose next week, it don't matter. Because no matter what they do, they're in that 1st seed. There's nothing that's going to change that. So they get their bye week, they get their home field advantage throughout the playoffs, and the Super Bowl is going to go through San Francisco. Now, for the Dallas Cowboys, we still got, to win the division now, all we got to do is beat Washington next week. That's all we got to do. So, for those of you that wanted to sit our starters and rest them, I guess we can't do it now because the Eagles messed around and lost. Now that they messed around and lost, we have the opportunity to get the division. So, if we want the division, we have to beat Washington next week. So, it's all hands on deck. We got to play our guys, go ahead and get that game, get up out of there, and get ready for the playoffs. Because you're going to have to go on the road, and the Cowboys are going to have to learn how to win on the road. Period. What we're doing at home needs to happen on the road. We got to get turnovers. We got to fix this running game. We got to stop these penalties and things of that nature. So that's what's going to happen. Now, I don't know exactly who will play. I think now in the 2nd seed, I think Seattle or the Lions. I don't know. But I heard Dan Campbell say, we're going to see the Cowboys again. Okay. So all that means is the Cowboys just got to do their part and just win these games. And let's at least get to the NFC title game. That's what I want to see. At least. And if nothing else, get to that championship game with San Francisco. If the San Francisco beats you in the championship game, I'm going to be upset, but I'm not going to be too upset because San Francisco is a beast. And the only team that I've seen that can demolish them seemingly is the Ravens, and of course the Ravens is the number 1 seed on the AFC side. I can see the Super Bowl right now against them two if we don't make it. If we don't make it to the Super Bowl, it's gonna be San Francisco and the Ravens. I can see that right now. I don't see any other AFC team. They got it by a long shot. The AFC side is weak right now. We're the ones that got the hard plays on this, but it is what it is. So let me know what you guys think in the chat box about our win, the Eagles crying and losing, and I don't know what's up with them. They got to get it together over there. They're just falling apart. How do you win 10 straight games and then you drop these games, and you and you're on the verge to losing what would have been 100% a bet to win the division. Now you're going to lose it to the Cowboys? Wow. I mean, I was just saying today, if it were us, the media will be all in our crap right now talking about it. But hey, it is what it is, man. Hey, like, share, subscribe to the channel, man. It's your boy E2 Blue, always keeping it real. Have a happy new year, y'all. Don't, if you guys are partying, be safe out there. And see you next year. Peace.